Hello. Now, with all the enthusiasm I can muster, which is almost none, I'm going to try out another weapons loadout on the Corvette. Now, as you can see, I did finally manage to get out of the Fong Wang system, and we are back in Shinrarta Dezhra. So instead of going through all of that bollocks of jumping to some place and then finding I can't leave it for another 2 hours because the servers are that shit, I'm just going to stick around here and hope, just hope like fuck that there are some resource extraction sites here. The loadout that I've got on the Corvette at the moment is certainly not one I would recommend. I'm just going to wait and see if there are any actual, are there any extraction sites around here? No. Well, that's a lot of fucking use, isn't it? Right. There's the next fucking place. I think the next one's nowhere near here. I think it's this one. Well, at least we've been heading towards it. Anyway, as I was saying, the loadout that I've got on this ship is not one that I really recommend. So we have 3 pulse lasers, a class 3 and 2 class 2s, which means that, well, my main pulse laser is on the underside of the ship, which is never where I particularly like it. But the main point of the test is to try the 2 class 4 multicannons, which are gimbaled. None of the new class 4 weapons are available as turrets, which I'm not that sorry about, to be honest. Is that it? There's just one low... Oh, fuck it, I will try here. And with the AI as it currently is, this could still be, well, not so much challenging. Well, yeah, I guess it is challenging. The challenge being, how long is it before you can just say, oh, fuck it, I've had enough, and leave. But, yeah, it does indeed look like that is the only extraction site here. As you're looking at the ring system as we approach, I can see why, because the ring system, well, it is there, but it is so faint. I don't know why anybody would bother. Oh. This will be the first time I've been into a ring system since the graphics improvement. I have to admit that the graphics on the planets have been improved by quite a bit. But, yeah, I'm one of these outrageous people who believes that there is far more to a game than, you know, what we see in terms of graphics. Good graphics do not a good game make. Obviously it's good if you have a game that has decent gameplay and decent graphics, but they are quite sparse. Usually it's one or the other, it's rarely both, and almost always it is the decent graphics and that's it. Still, let's see what happens. Well, they're not wrong, but
power plant capacity exceeded.
Graphics do look a lot better. So does this mean I'm in an icy ring system? It does look like an icy one, because I never bothered to actually check what sort of ring system I'm approaching. So I have no idea. This Imperial Eagle is heading straight towards me. That's usually a good sign. Yep, there we go. Right, let's give him a try. Okay.
Scan detected.
So he hasn't got any shields, so let's use the cannons.
Under attack.
Well, very slow firing rate,
Target
but
destroyed. Scan detected.
I mean, no charge time. They go up straight away, which I like.
Under attack. Scan detected.
And yeah, the damage that they do is pretty impressive. There's no doubt about it. Maybe. I think I only hit him like 3 times out of that lot, but oh, fuck it, it's usually it. There you go. So the few times I did actually hit him, that was enough to take him down to 7%. I think it was about 3 hits.
Scan detected.
So that's not bad. I want some of that. This cunt's come back in range, sort of. Now, of course, I do have cannons fitted. Not cannons. I don't have any cannons fitted for once. I do have missiles fitted. So if I use them, there is, of course, the very good chance that they will piss off. Okay, he's down. This cunt's coming straight for me. He has got shields, but right, let's try and take his shields down, and then we'll see how the
Target shields offline.
wow.
Target destroyed.
Alright, it's not much of a test. I mean, I'm just firing against fucking pissant eagles, but nevertheless, they are firing, you know, they are doing a seriously decent job of it. Unfortunately, all I've really got to test them on are eagles, and well, it looks like that's about it. Because all the rest here are all friendlies. I don't want to get into the habit of testing them on friendlies, because then I'll forget about it in the main game and straight away start targeting them as well. Okay, well, he's clearly going to be a friendly. Now, eagles hanging around here, surely they can't be mining. They've got to be out here to be a fucking pain in the arse. Nope. Oh, okay, they're in the wing with the asp. Here comes somebody whose weapons are not... that's usually a good sign, except he's pissing off the other way. So anyway, the asteroids do look a lot better. Asteroids, boulders. Oh, he's coming straight for me. There we go. Right, so we've got a much better target now. Let's get his shields down and see what happens with...
Target shields offline. Under attack.
Well, he's now going to run. Let's see if we can take him out before he has a chance to run. The answer is yes, we can.
Scan detected.
Fucking hell.
Target destroyed.
He's the cunt, yeah, who was scanning me. Now he's in a wing with someone else. Can't see what the other ship is, but we'll have a go at him anyway. There's no doubt about it. These A4 multicannons are fucking good. He's down already.
Target destroyed.
It's constantly fucking locking onto the missiles. Okay, so we've got an asp scout. The refiring rate is slow, no doubt about it, but they fire straight away. You don't have to wait for them to charge up or whatever, or to, you know, for the spin to start. They go straight off and do the business straight away. So that's not bad. I'll definitely have some of that. He's quite far away, I think. Yeah, I mean, I don't think with this current AI that's going to attract his attention. Okay, yes it did. So the current AI does still have some stupidity left in it. He was fired on by a Corvette and then decided to come back and try and take him out. So that's him down. Oh, I've got some message up here. Reputation change. Okay, so I'm now neutral with those lot. Oops. Yeah, big fucking deal. Right, where's old Klippenberg? He's down here in the sidewinder. I mean, it's really not worth it. So anyway, so Class 4 multi-cannons, they are pretty good. Now we all know that means one thing: they're going to get cut back. Their effectiveness will be reduced. So I guess it's a case of make the most of it while you can.
Scan detected.
Mick Sinclair, right here. Looks like he's in a wing. Yep, he's in a wing of 3. That's okay.
Target shields offline.
Running away like fucking
Under attack.
No point wasting our time chasing after him.
Target shields offline.
Last 5 seconds.
Target destroyed.
Suncoast fired a missile, but I don't know where from.
Target shields offline.
Ran out of ammo. Okay, wait for the reload. Go.
Under attack.
Okay, well he's gone down anyway. And this fucker's almost going down. Come back for a bit more, but yeah, he did last one.
Target shields online. Target destroyed.
Viper Mark 3 is almost certainly going to be wanted.
Under attack.
Because in this thing, it takes me fucking ages to turn around and fucking start firing at it
Target
again.
shields offline.
Oh, he's not running off, he's coming back for more. There we go. I mean, it does help that I'm getting, you know, helping hands from the security forces in the area. Anyway, right, well that'll do for that test. That's, I think we can say without any doubt at all that the A4 multi-cannons are pretty fucking good. Now they do cost, or they will cost around 5.5 million each. Which ain't bad really.
3, 2, 1, engage.
Alright, so let's head back to Jameson Memorial, wherever the fuck it is. Where's it gone? There it is. Now I have to say that when I first started it up, I did think that, oh yeah, this could be quite impressive, and I was even thinking this could actually be the update that does it as far as improving Elite Dangerous, you know, to an extent where I would actually recommend to people, yes, give it a go. I wouldn't recommend, yes, absolutely buy it right now, but I would say give it a go. And bearing in mind that that's coming from somebody who has been a vehement critic of the game for over a year now. But Frontier Development's own actions has meant that that's not the case. On the second day, the engineers beta disappeared from my launcher, as it did to everybody who was either an early backer or, in my case, has the lifetime upgrade thing. And so for about 2 hours, maybe more, none of us were able to even start it up because the option just wasn't there. And then yesterday, it just, no, actually no, it wasn't yesterday. I didn't bother with it yesterday because I'd had enough. It was Saturday when it just reached ridiculous levels. You had, well, firstly there was the point in the video that I was able to upload before ShadowPlay fucked up, where the missiles that I fired on an enemy ship, the ship was destroyed before the missiles reached it, and when that happened they then chose to lock on to the nearest ship to them and go after that one. And clearly they do not distinguish between enemy ships or neutrals or friendlies, because they locked onto a security ship and straight away I became wanted. So I just decided to frame shift out of there and hyperspace back to Shinrarta Dezhra, and that's when I encountered 2 hours of being stuck in that system, because every single time I tried to frame shift it would crash the desktop. Well, I mean, I could go into Super Cruise, but if I tried to hyperspace anywhere it would crash the desktop, so I was stuck in that system. I tried absolutely every kind of variant in order to try and stop it from doing that, including self-destructing. And then on the rebuy screen I selected rebuy all, and the only things it actually rebought were the internal modules. All of the optional internals, all of the hardpoint fitted weapons, and all of the utilities got left off, even though I'd selected them. Because this all happened in just that one session, and that's when I just thought, oh fuck this poxy fucking heap of cunt. And someone on my last video hit the nail on the head when he was saying he's not a QA tester. This is not a beta.
Core Dynamics Lima, Uniform Kilo. This is the Flight Operations Department. Please comply with established docking procedures, Commander. Request approved. Cleared for landing on docking bay 10.
As I was saying, this is not a beta. Now, of course, straight away all the brown nosers are now reaching for the dislike button, and they're all going to start crying into their fucking Ribena and saying, yes, it is a beta, that's why there are bugs in it.
Approach at a safe speed, Commander.
Stop saying nasty things about my beloved. A beta is a version
Detected.
that has finished code and people are testing it to make sure that said code is working as intended.
Landing
That
gear
is not
deployed.
what we are doing. Now, a QA tester is an internal member of the development team, and he's the one who goes and tries the game out and finds all of the existing bugs
Landing successful. Commence system shutdown.
and,
Enjoy your visit, Commander.
and finds all of the existing bugs, points them out, and the development team sorts them out before the code is finalised and the beta version is done and started for the public testers to give it the once over. I've said it countless times, Frontier Developments do not have an internal testing department. They have people who have the title of QA whatever, but they clearly do not do what a QA tester is supposed to do. Indeed, it's quite clear that Frontier Developments do not do any QA testing at all. Why not? Well, Frontier Developments, oh yeah, I went out there with no missiles, oh well. Frontier Developments do everything on the cheap, all the time. And an internal QA tester is paid to do the testing of the code. But Frontier Developments don't want to pay somebody to do that. So what do? They call it a beta and get all of us fucking pricks to do that testing for them. So they find out just how sloppy their code is, and they get all of that done for nothing. And by now they do it knowing that there are plenty of brown noses out there who will still, you know, give them all of the fucking doubts that they need, and plenty more besides. They'll just happily say, oh, it's a beta, you know there's supposed to be bugs in it. Stop saying nasty things about my lovely game. So they'll do all that. And of course, people like me who criticise it get, you know, all the cunts fucking saying, oh, you're being a real bastard about it, fuck off, fucking blah blah blah. And I even, on my first on my first 2.1 beta video, I even had some cunt who, by the looks of it, is actually saying that he wants to, well, what he actually says, he wants to kick my donkey, because I'm, you know, criticising his precious. So yeah, I make of that what you will. I mean, it's a fucking unbelievable example of the Frontier Developments community. I'm criticising his game, so he wants to meet me and beat the shit out of me because I'm sitting here criticising a game he likes. I mean, someone that moronically pathetic, I have to confess, it's beyond my comprehension. I cannot imagine such a person possessing the intelligence to be able to inhale and exhale without having to concentrate on it. So, yeah. If you're watching, yes, I am laughing at you. So anyway, yeah, so this is not a beta. We are doing Frontier Development's QA testing, and we're doing it whilst not being paid for it. In fact, we are paying them, or at least some people are, because despite the fact that the servers for the 2.1 beta are beyond atrocious, it was the servers that were the reason why I was stuck in the Fong Wang system for 2 hours yesterday, or Saturday. Despite the fact that they clearly cannot cope with the current demand, Frontier Developments are actually selling access to the 2.1 beta as we speak. I think it's £7 a time. Which does of course call it the question, what did those people who paid for the premium deluxe version of Horizons and therefore paid for the beta access of all major updates, what did they actually pay their money for? Because they paid a lot more than £7, and at this rate we are only going to have 2 updates throughout this, in quotes, season. So the whole thing smacks of the Horizons premium deluxe version, whatever, was a bit of a con. There's a word you can, can't imagine using that to describe how Frontier Developments operate. Con? Surely not. So yeah, there was another comment earlier today, actually. I think it was Wily Coyote who made it, who was surprised that I wasn't ranting big time. And the bottom line is, my enthusiasm for the game is now so low, it's at a point where it cannot get any lower, that I just can't muster the will or the desire to rant, monumentally like I used to, about any aspect of it, because none of it surprises me. I mean, I was very pleasantly surprised when I played the beta the first time and was thinking, yeah, this isn't too bad, and I couldn't believe that I was sitting there thinking, yes, this isn't too bad. But so many fucking, so many fuck-ups later, in the space of just 3 days, has meant that has long gone, that opinion. And I mean, now it's even to the point where, think like the messaging system, for the last 3 days, all of these messages here, once they came up, would then disappear, would vanish. I mean, it could be that it's only if you send messages to other players. I can't for the life of me remember who Robert J. Leonard is. I think when I added him first, he was just Commander J. Or that. But I can't remember how you spell that. No, there we go. Now all the messages have disappeared. They've all gone, just because I was checking out who's playing. So now, I'll tell you what, let's send a test message. Right, so I've sent the message to him. Now watch when it fades out. Okay, gone. So he pressed 2 and it's disappeared. Now if he's able to reply, or if he's willing to reply, you'll see that his reply does exactly the same thing. It'll come up for that while, but once it fades away, it's gone for good. So if you get a message from somebody and you are, for example, concentrating on docking, or you're in a conflict zone, you're concentrating on combat, and you miss what that message says, tough. The only way that you can actually check it again is to leave the game and go back to the main menu. And there you can see it's in the comms. But that's the only way that you can actually check on the messages. So if they appear during the game while you're busy doing something, and okay, granted, the chances of you actually doing something in this game are slim, but you know, it can happen, and if it does, well, you're not going to be able to see it unless you go back to the main menu. And stupid bugs like that should have been spotted and dealt with in a QA test done internally before the beta started. But it hasn't. Instead, the beta testers, who are in fact really the QA testers, unpaid QA testers, we are the ones who have to point out these bullshit bugs. And of course when we do, you then get the brown noses all chiming in with, oh, it's a beta, you got to expect bugs, fuck off, bloody blah. So the brown noses ensure that anybody who reports bugs cannot win, because if you report a bug that's already been reported, straight away they'll all pile in with there we go, right, so receive your message, testing to see if you get it back. Now we'll let it fade. Go and check. Gone. Cannot see it. So it's just, and the only way, I say, the only way you can check it out is to go back to the main menu. Anyway, as I was saying, yes, the brown noses ensure that people who report bugs can't win. If you report a bug that has already been reported by somebody else, they'll all pile in with, oh, everybody has already reported it, you don't need to keep reporting the same bloody fucking blah, and all this bollocks. However, if you then say, okay, nobody else, well, someone else has reported it, I'm not going to bother, then they'll say, oh, if you're finding bugs, you're meant to report it, otherwise, you know, what's the fucking point, bloody fucking blah. Or in the same time, if one person reports a bug and everybody else who sees it then thinks, oh, okay, someone's reported it, I won't bother, then that one person who has reported the bug gets all the brown noses piling in again with, oh, you're the only person who's had this problem, so therefore the problem's with you, not with the game, bloody fucking blah. And it happens all the time. So, beta testing Elite Dangerous is quite a thankless task for all the reasons that I've gone into, and I'm starting to think, do I really want to go through all this bollocks? Shall I just leave it and wait for you know, the game to go live? But then again, I just dread to think what kind of state this is going to be in when it goes live. And of course, I'll remind you once again, this is the update that Front-End Developments have to get right, because once this update is done, this is how the game is going to be when it goes up against No Man's Sky. And well, at the moment it's no competition. I'll just leave it at that. It's no competition. So there you go. that's this video done showing the A-rated or the Class 4 multi-cannons. They are quite good actually, I must admit. I may have to slap some Class 4 Class 4 pulse lasers. Mind you, I haven't tested the Class 4 pulse lasers yet, but I may have to slap some Class 4 multi-cannons on my Corvette in the main game when they come along. Anyway, so that's it. Now go away.